be yourself. Please don't go in there trying to be anybody else. Don't go in there trying to deepen your voice. If you got a high-pitched voice, you be in there squeaky.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir? Like, just go in there. Just be yourself, bro. What's up, fam? Before we get into this week's episode, I had to make sure that you know that you can try Just Dating University for $1. That's right. For the next 7 days, you can try Just Dating University for $1. Here's why we're doing this. We want to take away any barrier that there is that the enemy could be using to prevent people from learning all they can about relationships, how to date in a healthy way, how to have communication skills, how to have emotional intimacy. We want to teach you that in Just Dating University. So we're opening up to you for $1 to really be able to see, is this a resource that really would be beneficial for me? And we're going to be doing that up until Thanksgiving. So you got between now and Thanksgiving for $1 to make the best investment you've ever made in your relationship journey. And I promise you, if you're being a good steward of your singleness and learning how to date well, why would God not bring you somebody that he knows you're going to take care of? So you can go to justdatinguniversity.com. We hope to see you there. What's up, fam? My name is Tim. This is my beautiful wife, Pauline, and you are tuning in to another episode of the W Podcast, where you get wisdom in the word with the
Wheelers.
Hey, so we are so excited. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about today.
We're diving into meeting the parents during the holidays.
Yeah, so obviously if you're watching this when we post it, it's around the holiday seasons, around Thanksgiving, it's around Christmas, and some of you may be in a relationship and you may be close to meeting your person's parent for the first time. Yeah. So we want to help you feel prepared and confident for that. And if you're not in a relationship right now, still take notes and remember this, because by God's grace, one day you will have this opportunity. Yeah. And whether you meet them during the holiday season or not, you'll be able to use these tips. Like some of you may start dating in March. Ain't no holidays, but you're going to be ready.
I remember when we met each other's parents. Do you remember?
I do remember that. I remember your dad was driving his truck up to the church.
It was not a truck.
It was Escalade.
Yeah,
it was a truck.
Trucks are not Escalade.
He drove the truck up to the church, all black. I just happened to be in the parking lot. I felt like he was trying to drive and hit me, run me over.
Gosh.
No, he wasn't. Your dad's a great guy. But meeting somebody's parents can be nerve-wracking. Yeah. Not because you're scared of the people or anything like that, but because you want to make a good impression, because you're dating somebody that you really care about, and you want the people that care about them to like you. And that's normal.
And you want them to know how much you care about their son or daughter as well. That can be very hard. I think the hardest part for me with meeting parents in general is you don't always know what you're walking yourself into. Like, you've probably taken the past couple of months or weeks or something like that to get to know the person that you're with, and you spend so much time getting to know them, opening up, allowing them to get to know you, and now you're getting to know multiple people at one time, and kind of, you can be dealing with a lot of different things. Like, you're walking in thinking you're about to have, some nice dinner, and then you're getting all these questions shot at you, and you're like, I wasn't really prepared for that, or like, every family has its own culture, and like, you're just trying to learn and navigate that well, so it can just be a really hard thing if you're not prepared. So we want to help you feel prepared going into it. Yeah,
so we're going to share 3 things that you absolutely should do before you meet them and when you meet them. And then we got 2 questions at the end that you and your partner should have together when you get to that point to say, hey, how can we best prepare for this? So let's get into it. Yeah. What you should do. The first point is this: be yourself. Please don't go in there trying to be anybody else. Don't go in there trying to deepen your voice. If you got a high-pitched voice, you be in there squeaky. Yeah. How you doing, sir? Like, just go in there. Just be yourself, bro. Don't be phony. It's so important to be yourself because people can respect who you really are.
Yeah, even if they don't like you, they'll at least respect you. I love that point because hopefully up until this point, whenever you do meet your significant other's family, whether you're just meeting like one parent or 2 parents or really all the generations, at one time, they've heard something about you up until this point. Hopefully it's good stuff. And they are going to want to know, is this person who they say they are? They really want to know if they can trust you, if they can trust you with their son or daughter. They want to know if you're going to fit into their family, all of those different things. But really, what we know strong relationships come down to, whether they're romantic, platonic, family, work, whatever, is trust. So they want to know, are you who you say you are? Can I trust you? So whatever it is they've heard about you up until this point, like if they heard like, oh, he's got a really squeaky voice, but he's so nice, and then you show up with a deep voice, they're going to be like, this isn't the guy that I heard about. If they they heard that you are super funny, and then you go in there and the daughter's saying, oh, he's so funny, he makes me laugh on the phone every night, and the mom's like, yeah, I hear you guys on the phone laughing until 2 a.m, and then when she meets you and you're really quiet, she's gonna be confused and like, who is this guy that I've heard or girl that I've heard about? So you want to make sure that you number one, know what they've heard about you, and make sure that it's number one who you really are. Or maybe sometimes meeting the family is a good opportunity to clear up things that they may have heard about you as well. But
that's good. The second thing you want to do is bring gifts. The Bible says it like this: the generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. It's so important to make yourself look as best as possible.
Yeah.
And you can do that by bringing a gift. Now, obviously, you'll need your partner to help you with this and say, hey, what's their favorite candy? What's their favorite flower? What's their favorite place to get dinner?
Right.
Use your partner to help you with that. But you want to make sure you bring something. And obviously, people have done this and met people's parents and not brought a gift, but it just helps. Like when you bring a gift, it softens somebody up automatically.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm giving this point from experience. My mentor, when I was dating, actually gave me that advice. He said, hey, when you meet them, bring them some flowers, bring them some candy, bring them a gift, bring them something.
Right.
And that just makes you look even better.
Right. I know you did that for my parents. I think it didn't make all the difference. They already liked you, or like they were very open, but I think it just, if that's where you are, if you're like, oh, that's kind of doing a lot, the parents already know me, or we already have a rapport, and like that's great. But even when you go to someone's home for the first time, I think, or just in general, it's always a good rule of thumb, especially if somebody's cooking for you, can be a way to say thank you so much for having me over. It's a way to be hospitable. And the Bible even talks about too that like you can win somebody over with a bribe or with a gift. So if they haven't heard great things about you, this is a good way to kind of clear that up as well. And even like if you're wondering, oh well, what can I bring? Like Tim said, you can do some research, get some intel and figure out what their favorite things are, or you can just bring a nice bottle of wine, bottle of sparkling cider to their home. You can bring a dessert. That's always a good thing to bring when you're going to a dinner. And some of you guys are like, oh, this is so obvious. But some of you all are in high school, some of you are in college, you've never been in a relationship before, you don't really know how to navigate these things. So those are some good tips or some good kind of like quick things to bring along with you. Or flowers are good too, always for somebody's table.
The third thing you want to do when you are meeting somebody's parents or before you meet them is make sure that you begin with the end in mind.
Yeah, that's going to be really important because this is a strategic opportunity for you. Obviously, it doesn't have to be that deep. You don't have to think about it that deeply, but we also don't want you to miss out on an opportunity to really like hit a home run with your significant other's family. So of course you might just think, oh, I'm gonna go say hi. They want to just see my face, know that I'm real. Maybe, I don't know. And that's great too. But you also want to ask yourself before you go into this meeting, especially around the holidays, you go for this dinner, whatever the case is like, what do I want to gain from this experience? What do I want them to know about me? And what do I want to know about them? Because if you've been listening to us for a while, you know one of the big things that we talk about is that dating is one long job interview to be your spouse or for you to be their spouse. And the same way when you go into a job interview, yes, they're interviewing you to see if you're good for the role, but you're also interviewing them to see if this company is good for your career. And it's the same way for you meeting a family. So they're trying to size you up, see if you're good for their son or daughter, but you're also asking yourself, like, is this a family that I can see myself in, for the rest of my life? Is this a family that I want to raise my kids in? And of course, they're going to have the same, your partner should have the same kind of thought process when they meet your family, so it's fair. So thinking about things like that, we've definitely had conversations with some couples where they're like, yeah, when I met their family, they were so mean to me and they were not very nice and they were not welcoming, and this isn't something that I want to commit myself to. So just ask yourself that. And if, again, it goes back to like that first point of what do they know about you. If they know that you are like a marketing manager, well, maybe they don't know that you have a dog that you rescued and that you love this dog and that you have a passion for dogs. Maybe you want to tell them about that so they can see another side of you. And then what is it that you know about them? So maybe you know that this family is very hardworking, but maybe you don't know how everybody met. You don't know how all the couples got together, and you're going to have to learn from your partner, like, oh, who's going to be there? Is it going to be your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, or just going to be your mom and your dad, you know, your immediate family? So really have a goal of, like, maybe your significant other has, like, a little sister, and you're like, oh, well, I want to get to know the little sister. I want to know what her favorite color is. I know what her favorite, you know, show is to watch on TV. Like, go in kind of with a plan, so then when you walk away from that experience, you feel closer to the family, and that the family feels closer to you.
Yeah. So these next two things we're going to share is really for people who are serious about having a healthy relationship. Not just people who are watching this because they want to know some things, but if you are serious about really wanting to have the best relationship possible, these questions we're going to give you are what really going to take you to the next level. So get ready if that's somebody that you want to be. The first question, and these are all questions that you need to ask your partner about their family before you meet them. These are conversations you should be having before the interaction of meeting their family. The first question is this: what role does your father's presence or lack thereof play in your life now? This will help you know, does this person got some daddy wounds that I need to be aware of?
Yeah.
This just really helps you get to know this person. This helps you know if their father is in their life, but they're emotionally distant.
Yeah.
This helps you know when you go into it and you see your wife acting, or you see your girlfriend acting weird around their father. You have some context, and you're not like, yo, what's up with that? And you start being weird too. Like, you can have some more context, or maybe you can even try to start a conversation with that. You can have some more clarity.
Yeah, because one thing I know that you said, and you've probably shared in the podcast before, is like when you start to get around your significant other and their family, you see another side of them, and that's so important.
I remember, I just gotta share this. I remember when I went up to meet your family for one of the first times, it was crazy to me. Like, Pauline was saying things I never heard her say regularly. Like, her family has this thing where they say, I'm sorry. Like, if they don't hear you, I'm sorry. And like, I kept hearing her say that. I'm like, now look, I done known you for some months, some years now. I ain't never heard you say I'm sorry when it comes to this. So it was just crazy how as soon as she got back in that element, that just came back out.
Yeah, we can act different. And Tim it's been really good. Even like the first time we went to my parents' house, like just getting around each other's family can give you an idea of, oh, this is why you're like this, or this is how you grew up. Things really come to life when you learn like the foundation of, you know, where your significant other grew up, or the people that they grew up around. So it's really important that you have these conversations and ask these questions before you go into it, because and like, you can treat it casually, like, oh, this is just a dinner, but I think you'd be missing out if you only looked at it that
deep. Now, the second question that you want to ask: how does your family perceive me? Because maybe this person has been talking about you. Maybe they haven't talked about you. Like, you should know if they've never talked about you.
Because that's some people's reality. They be showing up and like, who are you? And like, this is my boyfriend I'm her boyfriend of 6 years. And they're like, what? I never heard about you before. I would be crushed.
And this question, there's another follow-up question to this that maybe you should ask after this meeting. Maybe you should ask once you are a little more confident that this is somebody that you really want to date long term. You can ask, what are some ways I can present you in a better light to my family? Yeah. So maybe this person hasn't really talked about you much, or maybe they have talked about you, but they haven't been doing a good job. So you can kind of share like, hey, like, how can I make sure I'm highlighting you in a good light?
Right.
So those are two questions that you really want to make sure you ask before you meet somebody's parents, if you want to have the best, healthiest relationship possible. Now, that was actually two questions from our resource about family in our couple questions. And if you want that resource, you can go to our website, wearejustdating.com. There's actually 6 questions on there. Yeah, those two was just like some easy stuff, but there's some other questions that really help you go deeper. Yeah. Again, that's not going to be for everybody, but for those who really want to have a healthy, godly relationship, definitely check that out.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out some of our other videos about meeting the parents and getting to know each other's family when dating.
Yeah, there's a ton of videos on that, so check it out. We hope that you got a lot of value from this, because holiday season is a real thing. Meeting somebody's family is a real thing. It can be nerve-wracking, but you should leave this video feeling like you have a little more confidence, a little more clarity to do the job right. Yeah. We believe in you, and we'll see you next week on the W Podcast.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this video.
To get more Christian relationship advice, subscribe to our channel.
And make sure you check out our other videos as well.